Next week is Halloween, so I think we'll draw something Halloweeny. Well, it's not actually next week because I'm recording this earlier, but you didn't need to be told that because you probably knew already. It'd be weird if it was me actually talking to you right now or something like that. Whatever. Let's draw some flash, tattoo flash. Should I wear my glasses? My dad glasses going on here. Does that help? Oh, fucking right bellend, did I? Anyway, right, yeah, so I thought we could draw a little pumpkin. So like normal, I have my, let me check my screen's recording. Got my canvas here. Let me show you my info on that canvas. So, dimensions. So yeah, that's the dimensions. Screenshot that if you will. It's just what I've always done it as. It's basically A4. That's the ratio of A4. And all that crap. So there we go. Well, yeah, I thought, fuck yeah, let's draw a pumpkin, man. They're quite fun to draw because they're easy shapes to like deal with. So I've got my blank one here. Again, I just like using a paper texture. So I'm just gonna get a paper texture. Right there, got a paper texture. Lock that layer. Right, let's make another layer. We shall, for the sketch. So let's call that sketch. How about that? How inventive. Right, so this is the layout we're gonna use. Well, I'm using peppermint. I said in the last video, remember there's like 2 libraries now. If you just click on the top, click back to libraries and go to classic. Anyone who's just got Procreate just starting probably might wanna experiment with the new brushes because I got told after the last video I put up that some of them are pretty damn good. So yeah man, experiment, just find the one you like. I use peppermint. I got told it's not in there anymore. So use whatever. Anything's cool, it don't matter. But I bump it all up when I'm doing a sketch, all up to the top, and we're just gonna do a rough idea. Now pumpkins, imagine a circle squashed, that's all it is. So you just wanna, I'm gonna do something a bit fancy with the stem. So there's the middle pumpkin. The middle pumpkin, there's the pumpkin. Now I'm not putting, this is gonna be, imagine it was like hand size maybe, side of the calf, something like that. I did take similar a few years back on the back of the calf. So yeah, something like that. So imagine that, and then I was thinking like we could do something cool and like spindly with the stem, something twisty. Maybe put some thorns on it because we got that artistic license to do what the fuck we want with our own drawings, you know? Oh, that's probably quite big. Looks a bit more like an old potato now. Anyway, we will make it look like a pumpkin. But yeah, you could just start working on, there's no symmetry in this. You can add symmetry and then it'll, do you know what, that would be pretty cool actually, if you add symmetry and then bend it a little bit and then fuck it up. You could do that, but I'm not gonna do that. It's gonna add because obviously pumpkins have that kind of like, what's it called, like the curves, them bumps going around it. And obviously you got to think about this as a like a circle, right? So you're looking at the front, they're going to be wider. As they go to the side, they're going to get thinner. If you're going down that route of you know, keeping stuff at least realistically in proportion, doesn't have to be real, but realistically in proportion. Don't have to be right in the middle, anything like that. But the main thing for me on this is gonna be the face. That's what I'm interested right now in drawing. Making some mad face on the front of it. But yeah, you can have fun with this shit, man. Really good fun. Pumpkin's quite a nice one to draw. And pumpkins aren't just for Halloween. Pumpkins are for life. Other people want pumpkins throughout the year. You draw one now, someone might get one done in March. Who knows? You know, they're just fun things. And they remind everyone of that sacred time of the year when Halloween is coming about, autumn's kicking in, and we're just having a good time, and them rustly leaves, man, with that crisp air. Roast dinners. I'm just talking on how it is in the UK. Even though the weather's pretty much the same throughout the year, at least we've got this to look forward to. We can celebrate our continuous weather a little bit more. But yeah, so something like that. I don't want it to be too like symmetrical, although I do want some cohesiveness from one side to the other. We've got 2 there, so let's add 1 more. You can actually, because it kind of dips in at the top, you can make kind of the edges bump out a little bit more as they go to the end. That kind of makes sense still. This is just rough as whatever. And then on the top, so I've done mine so you can't see the top. So if you're looking at it from either straight on or slightly below. But yeah, we could do something like this, and it can like twist around. You can even have a couple of little baby ones hanging off this vine. And like twist down underneath the pumpkin. Do you know what, man? I love this time of year, and it's not just because I love Halloween. I just love this feel in the air, man, of autumn. Like I said, in this country, the weather doesn't really change. We get sort of warmer summers, sort of colder winters, and it's all just like somewhere in between that the whole time. I mean, I already have had to change from a jumper. Like, I'm wearing shorts at the moment, where the other day I was wrapped up with jogging bottoms on, like 2 hoodies. It goes from mild to cold to hot, but I love it. I know a lot of people hate it, but I love it. I'm like, when it gets to this time of year, man, it's just about breezy enough. Everything's a bit murky, and it just has a bit more character in the air. You know, like that it just feels a bit, not creepy, but moody. Like, there's one good thing about the UK is we've got a lot of history, especially murky history, and a lot of lore, a lot of folklore, a lot of old stories that seem to, whenever they get told, it always seems to be around a misty field or like murky forests or a rainy alleyway or something. And that always it always feels like it's around this time of year. So if you're like me and you enjoy that kind of stuff, when it gets to this time of year, you feel it more, you feel a bit more excited. So yeah, I love it. When it starts coming in, I like going for roasts in little old pubs and finding new areas to like walk in. Like, me and my son will go to find woods and like, you know, make a little wood stick base or, you know, stuff like that. We'll like bring some little tools to the woods, like a little bit of string, and tie some wood together, like tie some up to the tree, like make some little wood figures, you know, Blair Witch kind of shit. We'll hang them around it and stuff like that. Just a bit of fun, probably terrifying the locals. They probably think there's a witch somewhere in there, but that's cool. It's not a witch, it's just little old me. Fucking in them woods, having a great old time, frolicking about amongst the mushrooms. But anyway, so yeah, I like it. And I think it's a for me, it'd be a selling point of a country. You know, like when you think of like, I don't know, Norway is always like murky, but the Vikings, you get that kind of outdoorsy vibe, you know, the fjords and stuff like that. Or like in Japan, there's pictures are usually like, it's always kind of sunset. That we're like, Japan could split into 2 actually. You've got the cities and then the more countryside, but in the cities there's always like a hazy sunset, very neon and like looks futuristic. But then you go to the countrysides, it's very colourful and always summer. You know, there's always like a feel to a place, and it's the appeal of that place. You know, obviously you look at like LA in the States and it's just always beach, people roller skating everywhere and shit like that. So there's always a feel to places, and I like the feel of the UK, certain parts of it, for sure. But anyway, so I'm drawing the stem. I want it to come off to certain parts and like break away. So you could have, you could have this like on the side of a calf or something like that. Okay. Maybe some little twisty bits coming up there. Do I like that? Do I? Or is it not twisty enough? Let me erase some. Have any of you lot got like your favourite like old stories and like of this like set in the countryside? I remember, I'll tell you one of mine. When I was younger, we used to go stay at a cottage in a place called Cornwall, for those who have no idea what I'm talking about. And it was in a place called Bodmin, and in Bodmin you have the Beast of Bodmin, which is said to be this like ghostly black cat that like stalks the moors around there. And I remember being young and in this cottage and looking for it, looking out the window thinking, oh my God, am I gonna see it? Is it gonna come in the night? Is it gonna come in the night? And I always thought that always stuck in my mind, and it made that experience more enjoyable because I had these stories in my head. And even now, like when I go to these places, I always feel like I'll catch a minute where it's quiet and I just think back to these stories and think, you know, imagine being in an era where there was no technology, no internet, no social media, no fact checking, no shit like that. I mean, it will definitely have its downs. Like, it's not always going to be that great, but in the sense of stories, you'd believe anything, man. You would believe it if you got told it. And it would be really hard to prove anyone wrong. I mean, there's a lot less reason to probably lie back then, unless you're trying to scare kids from going off on their own, which I know a lot of them stories are, but still, man. I reckon they saw some shit. I reckon they saw some shit that we just can't explain now. Just the way people see some shit now. There's a lot of shit getting seen. I follow a lot of this, like, you know, ancient history stuff, like with the idea that there was a civilization before the flood, and I follow all this alien stuff. And one of my favourite, one of my favourite stories recently, actually, and I've watched it back a few times. I only mention one now because I've got loads, but this one's always good. Was a channel called the Y-Files, which I'll link below this video, because if you're into this stuff, it's fucking interesting, man. This guy, like, I can't remember his name now. Can't remember his name. But anyway, tells some really cool stories of, like, you know, a lot of it's conspiracy stuff, or like basically what I'm talking about. But there was one that really stuck out, and I actually, for the life of me, can't remember the name. It's something S4, not S4, something Harry? No, I don't know. Anyway, basically this is weather station. It's an Area 51 thing. Back in the I want to say 50s, maybe 60s, this guy was hired to like check the weather stations at Area 51, and that was his job. That's all he had to do. No like secret bunkers and watch this alien ship, blah, 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 blah. He literally had to go, he was tasked to go and check on the weather. That was all it was, check on the weather. And so he did, but as he was getting taken around by this guy, kind of handing the job over to him, he was given, like, showing him the ropes basically of his new job. He told him to basically avoid these two weather outposts. I can't remember which ones it was, but avoid these two, and they were in a certain area, and which is the name of the video, which I can't remember. But anyway, told him to avoid them. And then when the guy getting the job asked why, he said, "Oh, just don't worry about it. It's just dangerous. You're better off just avoiding them and just making up the weather for them. They'll be similar to the rest." So he didn't, because he wanted to do his job properly. And he got told, when he snooped around a bit, he got told why. And it was because apparently there was a horse that had been exposed to radiation, and a very angry horse, and people had seen it galloping through the desert and the dried up lakes around Area 51 at night. And obviously, you get near that, you're going to get radiation poisoning. So he'd do his weather thing, and this job was quite boring. He'd have to sit there throughout the day, just monitoring the weather, reporting back, and he'd come back at night and, give his briefing on the situations in the desert. Anyway, one night he heard something. Now, this is where I'm probably going to butcher this story because I haven't watched it in a little while. But he heard something, he looked outside and there was a child standing there, and he was confused. And then when he went to see if the child was all right, out from like behind some shrubbery, this woman popped up and was like just staring at him. And she was really tall, like white hair, like white eyes, almost like blue but almost white, like striking. Looked like she'd come out of a cave, and she was staring at him. And then he could hear like galloping, and it was a male of these, the dad, let's say, and he was running at him, and he stopped. I think the woman stopped him, the female figure stopped him from charging at this guy. And and that was it. In the end, he realised that this wasn't a horse, it was actually these weird beings. And he got interested, and he tried to find out what was going on, and someone ended up telling him that they actually were a race of aliens or whatever that were in cahoots with the guys at Area 51 and lived under the base as like a, let's say, a holiday home, for lack of a better word, because I can't even think of what the word is. But anyway, so that was it. I can't actually remember the outcome of the story, which is terrible, really. But you've got to go look it up. I'll link it in this, because it's fucking cool, man. Do you know what? That's the sort of stuff I like to listen to. I know some of you like to watch stuff like this when you're drawing, but when I'm drawing, I like to listen to a proper story. It gets my juices flowing, man. It gets me thinking about, what I can and what I should draw and how I'm going to draw things. And I feel like my drawings actually get a bit more like inventive when I'm like inspired by a story. So yeah, it's definitely worth a looking. It's fun. It's definitely fun. Right, so that I'm cool with. It'll make more sense a little while I draw it properly. Back to the sketch. Right now I'm going to draw the face. I'm going to dim the sketch, put the opacity of the sketch down to like 60%, and I'm going to now lock that layer, and I'm going to start drawing the face on the next layer. The face, I want it to be kind of like, I don't like the look of things that are angry, evil. I like the look of things that are sad and dissonant. Dissonant? Hey Siri, what does dissonant mean?
Dissonant means lacking harmony.
Yeah, we'll have that. Lacking harmony. So they look kind of worried, a bit afraid, dissonant, sad, Like when I'm drawing these, I've got these mushrooms that I do when we do a flash day at Moth and Flame. Every Halloween we do one. Bit of fun, man. We've got to be done. It's just classic shit, right? Tattoo Studio Flash Day. Fuck yeah. I always draw these mushrooms, and they've always got these like, they're either really angry or, I'm going to use dissonant more. Probably doesn't make sense. I don't even care. Dissonant. I like that word. Ominous. Dissonant. Liminal. Ooh, man, that's some fiery words. Yeah, I like them sort of faces. Or like the curvy, cut out look. With the mouth, I don't know. They were a classic half smiling. Now he looks like he's with that half smiling face, he kind of looks a bit like, ooh, like, oh dear, awkward. Yeah, we'll keep that. It's fun. Is it fun? Now I don't know. Maybe it would look better with an angry face. Oh no, maybe I need to like make it a bit higher, a bit more like sadistic. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm just going to stick with it. It's a very odd one, but it's cool. I can go with that. We'll fill this side out a little bit more. Cool. Do I want it to be a bit... Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to merge this. I'm going to merge this down. I'm going to take the middle bit and I'm going to... I want it to be a little bit rounder. So I'm going to select the middle bit, go to freeform, and I'm just going to do that. Yeah. Maybe make it uniform again. Overall smaller. Just so it's... yeah, I much prefer that. I might round it off a bit when I'm doing the final one. Actually, I can liquefy that now. Yeah. Ah, it's gone. I got mine in a shortcut. Woo! Liquefy it a bit. Make it a little bit less square. Bring it in and tuck the sides in there. That's it. I'll have that. Right, let's get you in the middle. Okay, now we dim the whole of that. Oh, I've already dimmed it. Oh, that's fine. Dim that, lock that layer, new layer, sip of coffee. Is it still on me? Yeah. Right, so let's do the neater version now. Go for somewhere in the middle of them two. No, I've got to be picky like that. Right. So you're just now kind of refining what you've already sketched. And like before, please send me your sketches that you make based off this video. I beg of you. Because one thing I used to do a lot, and I want to do more, bring back again, is I didn't used to do a lot, actually I think I only did 2, but it's the critique videos. They were fun, man. I'm not a harsh person, you know? I just want to give something back to you. Some advice. Give something back for viewing the video. So send me a little critique. Send me your sketches, sorry. And also, please, in the comments, put your story. Put one that, you know, as a kid, it gripped you. Now remember the last video was talking about sculpting the lines. And the same applies for this. Sculpt your lines. Now the middle of this mouth's going to be black anyway, so this bit doesn't matter too much. But yeah, just have a bit of fun with it. Don't go too crazy, making it like really, really, really neat. It's like you don't want to. Okay, I've encountered a problem. This stem's going to be mostly black and it goes over the mouth, which again is mostly black. So really what we want to do is go back to the layer below. If you've done the same thing, pick the stem, take that, oh for God's sake, take that, move it below where the dark's going to be. Okay, because the pumpkin's going to be quite light, so it'll get away with it, but the mouth is going to be almost black. Yeah, I was just testing that. Anyway, yeah, so obviously mine is, I'm just going to make the pen a little bit smaller. Mine is kind of looking up from below. So everything's a bit towards the top, if that makes sense. You don't like this flowy look, then that's cool. Just do it like your normal triangle and, you know, shit like that. I for one quite like it. I think it adds a bit of flavour. Yeah, so there's the eyes. And these cuts going through the pumpkin, you don't need to add them all the way down. You can do if you want. You could make them cut into where the eyes are going to go, to like the shape of the eyes. But realistically, when you come to shade it, that's going to give the character. So I got completely mentally distracted there. You don't need to make these bumps cut down into the eyes. You don't need to. So if you're looking straight on at a pumpkin, most of the time, if it's lit from the front, it kind of cancels out the shadows anyway. So what would happen is you'd see the ones nearer the sides, but you wouldn't see them in the middle as much. So don't feel the need to draw them through the rest of the tattoo. Cool. Yeah, that's the lines for that. And now let's do a bit of the stem because it's in the way. And with the stem, it's like you want it to be very fluid. You've got to imagine that this is grown naturally, so it kind of twists and tucks into itself a lot. And that's what's going to give it like that, that kind of like root vibe, if that makes sense. Now this is quite, when I first started drawing stuff like this, because I use this kind of like twisty kind of line work. I use it to do the hair if I'm doing like a subject with long hair. I use it to do the hair, and sometimes it looks so cool, but a lot of the time it doesn't. It can look like a mess. It can get very confusing very fast. But it's basically, imagine you're getting something and you're twisting it, so the lines are kind of going in and coming back over. You got to kind of think about it like that. Or if you could, I don't know how you'd look up reference for something like that, but imagine this bit here is coming back out on the underside, so then it would come back out under here. That's where it would come out. Is that right? Yeah. So this bit would come down, yeah, like that, and then it kind of looks like it's twisting around itself. Very, it's cool. I like it. It looks cool. But yeah, it can get a bit confusing. But for something like this, it's perfect. I was thinking, do you know what I was thinking? The last couple of tattoos I did, there was like, nothing wrong with them. I was happy with them, but there's always room for improvement, always. And there's just little areas that I tattoo, and it'll be like a microscopic area. They'll be so small, no one else notice. But I look at it and I think, I could have added more detail to that area. So, and not because it I don't want to just keep adding detail and detail and detail. It's just when there's a lot of detail around something, and then you get one area that's not, you have to fill it with something. I think the last video I was talking about doing the dagger, and it was the blade. So we did the cracks at the end, right? I like a bit like that. Like there needs to be something in there, because if there's not, it stands out amongst the rest of the tattoo, which is like really frustrating because you don't really notice it when you're staring at a tattoo all day. A lot of times you don't notice these little things till after, till you're maybe looking back at the photo of the tattoo or something like that. And oh man, the frustration sometimes really pisses me off. You know, when you've done all that tattoo the whole day, and then you look back and you think, why did I not add that little bit there? You know, why didn't I add that little, a little bit of shading, a couple little cracks in there or something like that? That really winds me up. Oh, I've gone a bit crazy here. It's not only folding back on itself, it's coming towards the viewer. Oh, I don't know if that works. Does it work? See, this is what I mean. Most people wouldn't even notice what I was drawing right now, but I'm getting carried away at the smallest little area. But that's fine. That's all good. That's nothing to be worried about. It's good. It's good when you get picky, because it only leads to better stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't beat yourself up about it though, like I do. Literally just sitting here beating myself up and I'm telling you not to do it. But yeah, this is looking kind of cool. So I'm not sure. I want to, I think if I had more time, I'd go over this and mess it up a bit, so it's not so it's not so straight, so just curly, you know, so it's got a bit more to it. Hey man, I'm learning as well. I see that this is coming from up here. Yeah, something like that. I'm cool with it. A little bit coming out from behind here. Obviously, it doesn't all have to be twisty. You can do some bits that aren't. Where's that coming from then? Where's this bit coming from? So is it another part there? No, dead vines. That's what they grow on, innit? They grow on vines. I don't know. Fuck, I was getting into that then, man. Shit. So yeah, fucking hell. How the fuck are you? Kind of wish this was live right now. Gotta look up, see who's asking some questions. Let me turn my hat around, that's annoying me. Oh, there we go. And then answer a few. I am definitely gonna do the live ones. I know I said it before, but I've got all the setup now. I've got all the wires, I've got the apps and shit to run my screen on the TV. Do you guys do flash days? I love them. I'm always stressed on a flash day, always, without doubt. But it's so I love the build up to it. I just wish that I put more time into planning it, so I could do something bigger each year. Well, I'm always saying to the guys at the shop, you know, one year we're gonna get all these studios in Bromley together, like local studios together. We're gonna do like a big flash day. We'll rent a hall or something, like a mini convention in Bromley. And then I never do it. I know the place I want to do it in as well. I just got to do it. Email them. Get it out there, get it done, get it booked early, so next year we can smash them doors in and do some fucking flash. I was gonna get some local artisans, maybe like little candle makers or something. You know, something cool for this time of year. I mean, it's in Bromley High Street as well, so it's like you can walk out, get some food, come back. You know, get your friends getting tattooed. Just come back, man. Come back in a little while, go get some food, then come back. So remember, you're just hinting at these lines coming down off of the top. Right, let's do a big fold here. Woo, massive. Yeah. That's why it always helps to do like a rough sketch before. Like a complete rough sketch. I think anyway, because then you've got all these lines and you can pick at them. And a lot of, because it's all like messy, you can find shapes in it that you can then use for the final drawing. Yeah, see, like I like that. That's cool. Like this bit here, this bit, I think that looks sick. And you would, because it kind of folds in on itself. Oh, yeah, I like that. That's cool, man. That is cool as shit. Just love the way that things grow. They're growing to reach the nutrients they need, so they grow in all sorts of weird directions. And I always wonder why. What are you trying to reach? You know, what nutrients are there for you to reach? And I can imagine them going, but mister, it's none of your business. All right, that's cool, ma'am. You don't need to tell me your secrets. Just carry on extruding them nutrient-dense soil. You carry on. I believe in you. I've got your back. I'll stand here and watch out whilst you dig the ground and get what you need to grow big and strong, so I can pick you later and cut your face off. You got this. So yeah, we're nearly there now. Nearly at the end of this vine. Oh-wee. Should have done like just drawing some flash or something. Like if I was doing a tattoo flash piece. Whatever. I've been watching this other guy who's really cool as well. A bit more, not conspiracies, but you know, some more interesting stuff that, you know, that might be getting hidden from people. Just some news. His name is Polarity. He's really cool. Fun to watch, man. A lot of live streams of just, you know, rabbit hole shit, going over some stuff. I'm not 100%. Now I have a problem. Now I don't know about that top part. Do I like that top part? Does it need a little something? I think it does. Yeah, just a little, like, what are them people called in Jim Carrey film, the Christmas one, Whoville, that's it, a little Whoville curl up there. I'll take that. Yeah, that's cool. I've just pulled a blank. Do pumpkins have leaves on them? On their stems? I'm going to check. They do. Oh, that's great. Oh, they do. What do they look like? Oh man, I should have got a reference. Oh, I'm not far off. I'll take it. This is cool. Okay. Some of them have leaves. Dried up old grotty leaves. Okay, that's something we can add. So, yeah, these are cool. And flipping hell, man, just get reference. I should have got reference. I thought it'd be clever and try and do it without it. But yeah, let's draw some leaves on, and then I think this is good. I'm just neatening out a couple of the dark bits. Just like adding some like thicker lines around the edges so you can like see the difference between areas. That's a bit cool. It's got a mad haircut, this pumpkin. Mad madness, I tells you. Yeah, cool. Right, I'm going to cut this bit out because it's going to be long. I'm just going to colour in the eyes and nose. Do you know what? That's fucking... actually, I'm not going to cut it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quicker way of doing this instead of sitting there sketching in all that black, because I want it to be black. Just gonna select all the parts separately, and then I might give them a fade down. Actually, that might be quite cool. So yeah, just get your selection tool out and just draw over the parts. Try and keep it on the inside of the shape, so that I know this is really overly particular, but it means that the kind of the grain of the pencil will buffer out the straight line of the selection area. I'll probably go back over with a hard pencil, hard peppermint, and just like rough up the edges a bit. I like my sketch. Do you know what? I don't know, man. I just like my sketches I just like to like my sketches, you know. And you can do. There's nothing. However you want to draw things is cool. However you feel comfortable presenting them to the world is absolutely fine, even if they're rough as fuck. I just like to look at them and go, "That's a nice sketch." If it's pleasing on my eye, then I think it will be pleasing on someone else's. So I like to just rough it up a bit, but keep it like an organised chaos, you know. That's why I like to leave the sketch underneath, all that stuff. Right, I'm gonna get out the bamboo chalk. It's been a while, bamboo. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a slight fade down on everything. You see there, that annoys me straight away. And there's a few of them as well. So if we do a fade down, it looks kind of fun. Really black at the top, and no like white left, but like a definite obvious gradient. Almost dark at the bottom as well, almost. Yeah, see, that looks kind of cool. Ooh, looks like I'm drawing on the inside. That's pretty sick. So, big strokes, nice and black at the top, and then a little fade down, as if to say, maybe there is a candle in here. Or yeah, you could do you could make it kind of look like there is a candle in there. And for the sake of time on this stream, on this video, oh look, see, didn't lock the layers. Should have probably done that in another layer, but that's cool. There we go, made a mistake. That's what happens when you're fucking talking too much. Let's just neaten up these bits here. See that? Yeah, little bits like that where you can see the hard line. No, sirree, get the fuck off my fucking Procreate. I do not want you here. And this is one reason I don't like digital drawing. I don't like that digital hard edge, you know, that happens when you're doing this stuff. It kind of feels really weird. I'm drawing purposely to make it look like it was on paper. But yeah, whatever. It's fine. It's all good. So yeah, just get rid of them hard edges. That's it, that's better. And then I will make a new, oh no, that was a new layer. So I'm going to lock this layer now that I should have done. And I'm going to do another selection. Of the whole lower pumpkin. Select all that. And then right, now we do make it a little bit bigger and just do some broad strokes with the bamboo chalk until it's light on the middle, go really dark at the sides. And then again, I would probably pick out some details back with the peppermint in the creases, just to, I will do it now. I'll do a little bit now so you can see, because get a really big pencil and put it quite low, and then just use your pencil to the side, just so it picks it out a bit more, defines the shape a bit more. Yeah, like that. And then I probably will, even though I didn't bring the lines over, I'll bring the shading over. Just like really barely. So in a tattoo, you know, let's say you're using mags. This is the point where I'd get out like a really watered down grey, and then use that to define areas that you don't want to show up too much, but you still want to define the shape, because that's important. Just because it looks really light and it might seem a bit pointless, it isn't. It defines the shape of something. Like now, what is going on here? Yeah, it's a bit rough. Define that shape, bring it all the way down. That's it. And then, yeah. And you say you've got a bit more of a shape of a pumpkin. Maybe I should do that a bit more. Maybe a bit more defining. There we go, that's a bit better. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Man, there's so much you can do as well. So much you can do with these. Just going to put a little bit more in the top there. And at the top here. Like make them corners like a little bit darker because they're folding over from the top. But yeah, you can keep going on with this. You can make it neat, add a bit more shading, define the shape a bit more without losing detail. That's the main thing, is you don't want to lose detail whilst you're drawing this shit. Because if you start putting too much like dark shading around the mouth and eyes, you're going to lose the mouth and eyes. So just don't do it. You might not like literally, they might just not just sink into black, but they you want them to be defined so you can tell what's going on when someone looks at the tattoo. Well, I'm going to now just thick line over some of this shit. Neaten that bit out a little bit. Yeah. Right, I'm going to give you a tip. This is what a clever person would do if that clever person was me 10 minutes ago. When you're drawing, if you want to separate shapes and you want to do these big shadows like that, but you don't want it to go outside the lines of the drawing, do this. draw your shape. What should I draw? Okay, so I want to add, I don't know, black to this, yeah? So draw around this. Let me just draw around this. And you can do the same on yours. Just draw around the stem or the pumpkin or whatever. Now, what you want to do is you're going to fill this layer. You're going to flood it with ink. Or just, you know, fill it with a colour. And then you're not going to touch it. So there's that, all the way down there. Let's go do the inside as well. Get rid of the inside. Okay, so, oh yeah, I've got to do remove. Get rid of it. It's going to be rough now. Get rid of the inside. There you go. Right, now, go to a new layer with nothing in it. Fill that. So that's what it looks like. Now, lock that. Get rid of it. Now, if you ever need, so if you put an alpha lock, right? So let's say you haven't got it selected. Now, you just go to this layer. So this layer's, let's put this layer all the way down under that layer, right? And you literally just select. And it's got the selection there. Now, when you go back up, there you go. Now you can just go over with whatever you're doing, the bamboo chalk, and it will be, the area will be selected. It has saved my arse so many times because I was sitting there drawing out all of the, selecting the areas to do this bamboo chalking, or, you know, even just sketching in an area that I didn't want to lose too much detail on. And I kept having to go over with the selection tool, pick it off again. Oh, I could have added more, but I'm going to go over the edges, go back again. Oh, it just took forever. So doing that and separate, you could do it with every single shape. So for this piece, I'd do the pumpkin, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and each different stem on a separate shape. Hide all them shapes in a group. And whenever I need to pick something to draw, to like colour in like this, where I'm not going to go outside the edges, I just go in, grab that shape, grab the selection from it, and then use it. And right now I'm gonna make it dark on the edge of these little stalks, fading in, and then this is where you define them curls and wisps around. Hold on, I want to make this a bit darker there, coming off of the pumpkin. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This isn't my best work, but it's cool. I'm on a timer, alright? Leave me alone. So there. Underneath here. And I'm just going back with the pencil, you know, just to define it a bit more. If I had more time, I'd define all the lines as well. And then you want to do the same with the one below. So I'm just going to select this as well. Oh bloody hell, this one's annoying. So select all that one. Yeah, I'll try and cut this all out for you, because what a boring watch me selecting things. So select the one below and then do the same again. So just a new layer above that. Fill that. Oh, it happened. Oh, it's because it's under the, okay, yeah. Alpha lock, remember, so it is there. It's just the paper texture's covering it. So it's already selected right now, but now you have that. And the same goes for if you want to rub things out like in a large area. And you know, this is another reason why it's good to do layers. Because at least with layers you can you don't rub out all your detail that you need. So let's do that. Where am I? Right, now it's not drawing. Oh, it's because it's, no, why am I not? Oh, I wasn't on the right thing. Idiot, I was on a rubber. It's coming out from below there, a little bit here. Folding under and back over. Yeah. And look, over that and not going on the pumpkin. How fun is that? Just define it a bit more, and yeah. And obviously there's plenty more things you could do with this. Like if you really wanted to, you could add, you know, like a torch in its mouth. So like a candle and a flame coming out. You could define things more. I mean, I've not given myself a lot of time. My memory card's literally got 9 minutes left on it. I have an hour and 15 for each video is my limit to what I can do. And this has been quite the long vid. So yeah, there we go. I'm cool with that. I think that's good. You can definitely, like, yeah, you could bring it up a door, maybe a bit of shading down here and a bit at the top, like define the roundness of it more, make it more obvious that that stalk's coming off the top of the head. But still, it's all right for an hour, innit? And I hope you learned a couple of things. Tell you what, that fucking layer thing I said, use it. It's so helpful when you're doing block shading. But yeah, thanks for watching again. You are great. What did I just press? I didn't press anything. You're great, and I really appreciate you coming in. If you could just like the video, if you want to drop a subscribe, that would be great. Whatever you want to do, I don't even care if you don't do it. I just appreciate the fact you're watching it. Just leave a little comment about your stories as a kid that stuck with you, and if you can, send me. You could send it to jasonjamestattoos@gmail.com. Your sketches that you've done. Let me see that shit. I want to see your work. I want to see what you've done with this stuff. And I love you guys. I'll see you later. Goodbye.